That's right, that's right. It's 90.9 FM KHDC Radio Bilingue here in Salinas, Santa Cruz, Monterey. Also 104.1 FM out there, Hollister, San Juan Bautista, and South Gilroy. And of course, everywhere on the planet.
On WednesdayRec.com.
That'd be your turn to wake up.
There you go.
I know. Well,
you know, come on, man.
I'm surprised I woke up in time for the show.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm surprised too, man. We got a special guest joining us in studio. He goes by the name of
Lee Earl.
That's right, the world famous Lee Earl.
Yes.
The everyday dude.
No, you're more than an everyday dude, man.
Yeah.
I'm hearing stuff you're up to, man.
We hear good things, eh?
Before we get too deep into it, talk to me about the Reggie Stephens Foundation.
So the Reggie Stephens Foundation is a non-profit organization that typically hosts a all-star basketball game between Monterey County and Santa Cruz County. Reggie's been putting it on for about 4 or 5 years, maybe even a little longer. I just got involved with it, and we branched out this year and was able to have a basketball traveling team underneath that.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Reggie was about, I think, 3 or 4 years behind me at Santa Cruz High, and he was part of a group called Ebony Mist.
Yeah.
Way back in the days.
I've heard this in in-house records, and like there's a whole history.
Yeah.
There's a whole history that I learn about the more people I meet, because I moved here in '99, and I went to court for 2 years and tried to avoid California.
Well, a lot of people are trying to avoid California.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's
expensive.
Basically, fine, avoid it. We got too many people here as it is.
But no, he was key from what I heard. All of y'all in Palookaville, like I heard, the Catalyst wasn't the Catalyst, so to speak. It was Palookaville before that, and then because they left, Catalyst and other places kind of got lucky with the overflow.
Yeah, man, those Palookaville nights, man.
That's what I hear. The smile you have on your face is what I hear.
You just had to be there, man.
I was too young.
Some of my best nights DJing live happened there, man. I mean, from Sugar Hill Gang to Run DMC to the Executioners to Rozelle to De La Soul. Cool Keith, right?
Reggie said they didn't even know the type of talent they had coming through there.
No, they didn't recognize. Alcoholics came through a bunch of times. Exhibit, Dilated Peoples, Defari. I believe the Roots came through one time.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. It was just Goody Mob came through.
Didn't Tribe?
No, Tribe never came through. I wish, man. I would love Tribe to come through. They were talking about bringing Brand Nubian one time, but that fell apart.
What about De La Soul?
Yeah, well, I just said that a second ago.
My bad, I missed that.
Wake up, dude. Come on.
Like I said,
follow the bouncing ball.
Like I said, no, you're too fast for me right now. You're too fast.
Speed it up.
I have ADHD.
I never like to hear that.
I have ADHD, man. You know that.
I think it's cool too that you and Reggie, in different ways, are still giving back to the community. Yes, you were there for the music and a part of it, but now you're kind of behind the scenes, making sure the same kind of thing happens.
Yeah, man.
It's cool as hell.
Yeah. I mean, Reggie. Obviously, people know his history. He played for the New York Giants. Couple years there. He played like 5, maybe 6 years for the Giants.
I think it was about 4 or 5. Yeah. I know he went to the Super Bowl, because you're gonna laugh at this. When they won that conference championship, we were at the park, and I was like, "Hey, look at my child support check compared to yours. I want to see what they charge an NFL player. Right. Bill is that."
Right. Yeah. Last time I saw Reggie is probably about maybe 3, maybe 4 years ago. I saw him at Bocce Cellar for a show one night, and he was like, "Yo, what's up, man?" And he was telling me about he had some new music coming out, but that's the last time I ever heard from him. So
I just looked online. He's doing some. He has a partner named Jay Wills. They have the group called Cruisematic. They kind of came together. They're redoing something with Bon Jovi. Bad name. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Like they're very eclectic in their approach.
That's interesting. The connection there is Bon Jovi is a huge New York Giants football fan, so maybe that's the connection. He said, "Hey, I'm a former player. What can we do? Can we get something cracking?"
It's on its way. I've seen some sneak previews of it.
That's the heat right there, man. That's the heat right there. So let me as we get into it, let me start by saying this. So I've never wanted to go around town soliciting for any kind of props or congratulations or anything like that. I'm like that, the ordinary guy right here, Lee Earl. I'm like that too. I'm like, whatever. I would prefer not to be acknowledged over being acknowledged in a way that I interpret as disparaging or dismissive of what I do. I'd rather just, let me be anonymous, don't even say anything about me, rather than, hear something that I perceive in a bad way. And, I really am super protective of this show.
Yep.
So, as I stated from the beginning, when I believe the person who was the intermediary between you and I, that can, passed on the message of, I was a little,
thrown back.
I was thrown back, right, by some comments you had made. I stated to him, I said, I could have completely misinterpreted it. That's entirely possible, but the way it came across to me was in a dismissive and disparaging way towards this show. So I'm going to play the comments that you made. It's a 44-second clip, and then we're going to come back and I'll let you, explain it from your end, and then we should be all good. But this is the clip that happened. This was on the Saturday Sesh with M and Cal P a couple weeks back, and they're finishing up the show, and it went like this.
So yeah, we're closing up the show.
Hey, and shout out to
23.
M and shout out to you, seriously, because y'all are doing it. I mean, Kazzeo's done it for 25 years. We appreciate that, but this is another branch where local people can have a way to get their voices heard. And more importantly, you guys actually care about what you're listening to. And that goes a long way as people, you make music, but to hear that, it means a lot. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all.
We got the echo on there?
Yeah, I put the echo on and everything. So before you say your side of it, the way I interpreted it, there were two things there. I interpreted one was kind of in the way of like, Kazzeo does this thing, but this is where locals can get played. Like as in a way, okay. Let me go back here. So in the 90s. And Escobar was here. He's seen it firsthand. We would have tons of local artists come through, and they would come through and rhyme and get their songs played.
I would listen.
And then somewhere around 2003, it really just dried up. Like there was like no local talent. And then in maybe towards 2008, 2009, a sprinkle would pop up here and there, and one of the things I always try to do, of course, I always want to look out for local talent. But at the same time, if I listen to their music and I don't feel that it's sonically on par with what I'm playing now, I'll give them constructive criticism and say, this is what you need to change in order to get some airplay. And a lot of them, the majority of them, take that as, he's just a hater, and we're not going to change what we do, and, who needs him? He's just a hater, he doesn't support. So when I heard that statement, I felt like you were kind of in a way conveying that same message, that I don't support local. And the thing that got me was like, you've been here numerous times, and I've played your songs numerous times. The other thing was the comment about when you said, oh, but you guys care about what you play. So I took that as like saying like, we don't care about what we play on the Wednesday show. Like, we just play whatever and we don't care. So that's how I took it, and that's how it struck me as weird. I was like, oh, that's a shot. He's taking shots. So, I'll let you take it from there.
So the part about, we've kind of been giving you props through the whole show with all the dead time, if you will. As the music's playing, we're talking about how much you've been here. And he was even, the intermediary was even joking with me like, no, you get love. You get love from Kazzeo.
Right.
So from there, we jumped on the air. And I didn't want to talk about you and you because we were on a different show format. Just like now I said intermediary instead of that person's name. I know we don't care if we say 7 or Cal.
M7 and Cal, right.
But I tried knowing where I'm at and always having this import attitude. I can't talk about another stuff. I got to acknowledge what's here. The switch about y'all is KHDC. Because what you played or what I heard on the way up here won't get played on normal radio.
That's true.
Nowhere.
Same thing with the Saturday show. Both of y'all, whatever y'all play, will not get force-fed to people in the mainstream.
Right.
So that's why y'all care about what you play. You've always cared about that. I probably segued too fast from them to KHDC. But no, you had been getting props the whole damn time.
No, I heard the entire show.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, but then when I heard that comment, I was like, well, wait a minute. That's kind of, like I said, I'd rather not be acknowledged than
to be dismissed.
Than hear something that I perceive as, a disparaging remark. So, and I never had like the thought like, okay, that's it. Now Lee and I are at war. I never thought that.
We don't have kids. We won't be at war.
No, not at all. But I was just like,
that's kind of how I have to approach things. Like,
right. That goes back to your first 2 years in California.
Yeah, and being an import, you learn not to do. But no, it's I've appreciated everything I've gotten. I know when you don't have to name names in regards to the people around 2008, 2009, who did not appreciate the constructive criticism, because I was one of the ones that went and got me some radio edits and tried to figure out a way to get on there instead of saying I'm not worried about it. Because to me, it was better to be played here. I'll take 8, and this isn't a shot. I'll take 8 listeners as opposed to 80,000, because I really feel like these 8 are paying attention to what they're listening to.
Well, I think the thing is like, especially now as technology has grown, young artists now, they feel like, oh, all I got to do is throw my stuff on the internet. And that's all I have to do.
Not here, though.
It's not true. I mean, radio still matters. And I mean, I come from the school. If I'm a young artist, I am searching out any hip hop shows around me.
But you're also a purist. You got to remember, I come from the South, which got made fun of with Waka Flocka, oh, let's do it. When I had to tell somebody that means, oh, let's do it, he's ready to go. So I find myself being a narrator of sorts. They can do whatever they want to be rock stars. They want to do, like I took my son to a show and they had the dude standing on top of hands as they held his belt while he did his verse. It was a tight idea, but then it was a mosh pit, and then it was a crying session. And I'm watching it like every kid went up, down, yelled, beat somebody up in succession over and over. So you got to remember, you're a purist.
Well, that's true, in my okay, I'll give you that. I'll just give you that. Yes.
And then from my angle, I've always said I've never understood the graffiti I saw on the train. You knew people that made the graffiti. I couldn't read any of that in Oklahoma. So you come from a pretty, spoiled is not the right word. You've just been blessed by being in a pretty progressive area that has been able to stand by its own and not mimic anybody to get radio.
I don't know that. Well, I get you how you say purist, but I think it's more of just.
I'm a purist with basketball. I hate the Warriors' offense. I love defense.
I think it's longevity. I just been around so long that I just I understand. Basically, I don't know any other adjective to throw.
Well, no, when you care.
Right.
Like, you care about all elements of the entire thing. These kids are like, I had a kid tell me, yeah, I looked at your video, coach, but I saw how many views it had and I didn't listen to it. We come from the era where it could be the ugliest person in the world singing, and then we found out that that's Aaron Neville with the little bump on his face, but he can sing. Then it transformed to, if the artist isn't humpable, we're not marketing him. I don't care how good he is.
Yeah.
So I know where you, like, I come from the same place.
Or if it's not catchy enough.
Yeah.
It's
hip hop.
Yeah.
You do hip hop.
Exactly. So, like I said, I mean, I never had the intention like we're going to be at war or anything.
No.
I knew it was, I was open to the fact that maybe I did misinterpret it. And it was all good. So
when he told me, I knew exactly, because after I said it, I was like, but I can't backtrack into it. So I was caught in a little catch-22.
It was just wild because I never even thought that, because I had mentioned it to M, and I said, what was that about? And I never even thought that he would forward it to you, but then all of a sudden you texted me and you're like, hey dude, we need to talk.
Yeah.
And I was like, and my thought was, look, it happened on the air, let's just squash it on the air and, just leave it at that.
Yep.
So I mean, we're good now. I mean, we were always good. but we're even more good.
But I can't.
We're gooder.
I cannot. You can't crap where you live. You know what I mean? And for me, I bring back the kid situation. I really don't have problems with adults or grown men because a conversation, like you said, will solve all that.
Exactly.
But I do know from the area I live at, there's a lot of, let me not say nothing, ice grill. Let it be known over 2 or 3 years. Like, that's why I was like, before we even get a week or a day past that and it lingers any further, let's just figure it out.
Right. No, I mean, it's all good. So
but I knew which particular clip was the one.
You probably you must have been like, when you said, you're like, oh, wait a minute.
No, when I said it online, when I said it on air, I was like, I hope it doesn't get interpreted. And then when he was like, hey, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know which part you're talking about. Let me find it right here. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right. Yeah, it was that last 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I sat through the entire show, and I was like, okay. And then all of a sudden, 3 minutes go, and I'm like, oh. Man.
No, but KHDC.
It was like a murder mystery. Like I got killed at the end.
next episode.
I got killed at the end.
The cliffhanger.
Hey man, so you know what? Let's jump into a Lee Earl track. Let's go into Verbal Resume.
Okay.
I think that's the one. And then, we'll have you stick around and we'll talk some more in a few minutes. If you got time. I know you're a busy guy. So, yeah, let's do that, and we'll be back. That's right. We're back in the place right here. It is 90.9 FM, KHDC Radio Bilingüe, 104.1 FM out there in Hollister, San Juan Bautista, and South Gilroy. And, of course, 90.9 here in Salinas, Monterey, and Santa Cruz, everywhere on the planet.
On WednesdayRec.com.
That's right. Still got my man Lee Earl in the house.
Yes, sir.
Man, oh man, a lot of things happening with you. So, once again, the Reggie Stephens Foundation, how can people get information on that?
You can go to ReggieStephensFoundation.org. That's just a mission statement and an idea for what he's trying to bring to the Central Coast. Because it's not just for sports. It's a nonprofit foundation for music, for artists. If you play the cello, if you draw, if you paint, like whatever your avenue is, if he can help you, he'll find a way to help you. Like our basketball team this year had I guess you could say a tutor available for kids if they wanted to do pre-SAT stuff or anything like that.
That's awesome.
He's trying to give back in every way that he can to make sure kids have an avenue. And let me say that I'm coaching to get kids junior college, Division II, Division III, and NAIA scholarships.
Now, I believe from hearing, the interview a couple weeks ago now, you've had some success with that, right? You've got some kids that did actually get some scholarships?
And I'm trying to be politically correct, but politics is horrible, so I'll just speak the truth. We tried to get the best of the best, whether you lived in Santa Cruz, Aptos, SOV, Scotts Valley. We have a kid from Valley Christian over the hill. We just wanted to take the best of the best and put these kids on the radar for coaches. Because the amount of time that they spend throughout the year dedicated to their craft, I can't just take success off of it. I got to figure out a way to make sure, and Reggie too, that we can get them on the radar for people. But yeah, we went to Reno, we didn't play in the elite division because we're not elite. We played in Division II. We went through that thing and upset a lot of people. Brought the little gold ball home.
That's what's up.
And I'm gonna speak highly of. We have a 16U team, a 15U, we have a 12U and an 11U. The 11U team are some killers. The 3 best players are 9-year-olds.
Oh wow.
Those 9-year-olds were part of the Pop Warner that won, I guess, the championship that hadn't been won in 50 years for the Central Coast. They beat a team at a tournament 117-12.
Wow.
The next game, the team quit at halftime.
That's like
That's amazing.
That's like the Globetrotters and the Washington Generals, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we're good. I mean, granted, that wasn't the top tier tournament that we went to, but I can say the lowest we've ever placed in a tournament is 3rd place.
Wow.
If not, we were runner-up or champions.
Quite the accomplishment. Right?
That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. And the other big thing you're part of as well is the annual Juneteenth event that happens in Santa Cruz.
Yes, sir.
Which you just had, I believe, last weekend, right?
Yes.
So how was the turnout for that, and what are we looking forward to next time?
So this year was a little. I have to say I'm proud that most of the kids from the teams came up on stage with me while I performed. Or if you were being too cool because you're too old, like 16 or 15, I made you stand in front of the stage like you were security. So I try to make it as much of a community event as I can, kind of combining both of those. But it went good. The basketball skills challenge is what I do. And then I go over and I also perform. But it's always a good thing because this year I can say there's probably twice as many people as there was in the last 2 years or the previous year. It was very nice.
Good stuff, man. And for those who don't know, what exactly does the Juneteenth event encompass?
You have vendor booths. It really is a hodgepodge of talent. Like one year we had classical opera singer singing. We had a choir. We had samba da, some band I guess that's real known. We had Rich Tycoon from Oakland brought out a couple, like what's his name, DJ Kev I believe, and he had some drums. Like it's just artists, music. Last year we had some cover band that dude reminded me of somebody that should have been in Purple Rain. Like he was like
wow.
He was like Morris Day and them with the like being into the music. It was really nice.
That's hot, man. That's hot. So yeah, so the Juneteenth event, I believe it happens the third Saturday in June every year, correct?
Honestly, it probably should have something formal like that, but they try to do it on the 10th.
Okay.
So
okay.
You might do it on the 13th or the 19th, like whatever Saturday kind of falls in between there.
Well, you know, just stay tuned on social media. I mean, if you want to follow or, you know, get in touch with Lee, how do they go about doing that?
You can email me, earls_music@yahoo.com, or you can just put something on my Facebook wall. I ain't checking Messenger. No 2 apps for 1 app. I'm not following that.
Right. Well, you know, I mean, unfortunately, man, you know, in this day and time, you have to be connected on social media.
I am. Well, listen, you can post on my wall all day.
You know.
But I don't have an Instagram. I don't want to. Like I got hacked like 12 times in a day. Oh, no matter how many times I change my password. So you win.
You got a real fan out there.
Yeah, some Czechoslovakian lady laying upside down with some crazy link next to my family picture. So I just decided to delete the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
Like it was quite comical.
You know, it's funny, man. You said 16 and 17-year-olds acting too cool. If they're too cool at that age, I must be Sub-Zero right now. Because at my age, I must be Sub-Zero.
The coolest.
Man. Yeah, exactly. Frozen tundra. Hey man, I want to thank you for coming through tonight, man. You know, I'm glad we, you know, got on the air, and you know, I was telling Escobar earlier in the show because he was trying to get out of me. He was like, you know, what's this about? What's this about? I was like, you know what?
He kept us all in, you know.
I was like, it happened on the air. It'll get, you know, taken care of on the air, and I'll just leave it at that. And you know, now everything's good, man. You know, you know, the waters are calm right now. You know, so I'm waiting on new music, man.
No, I'll get it to you. I'll get it to you, and I'll make sure it's radio edit. It is going to be comical music because I found my lane. I'm old man rap. And the song that's coming out, I said I'm old. The only time I use filters is when drinking my coffee.